Attention Michigan duck hunters. A few weeks ago, Michigan's wetland wonders were facing some major cuts. 4 of our managed waterfowl areas that included Fish Point, Nyaquin Point, Shiawassee River, and Harsens Island were going from 14 draw opportunities every week down to just 5 after opening weekend. And you guys know what happened next. Hunters got involved, you sent emails, you made the phone calls, and you used the Greenway Conservation Club system to make your voices heard. And you know what? People listened. We were able to get everybody in the room, work through the problem, and ultimately find a way to restore all 14 draw opportunities for the 2026 waterfowl season. That is a huge win. But before we talk about what comes next, I want to make sure we give credit to the people and organizations who made this all possible. Harsens Island Waterfowl Hunters Association, Shiawassee Flat Citizens and Hunters Association, Michigan Duck Hunters Association, Ducks Unlimited, and Delta Waterfowl. Those 5 organizations came together and provided the funding necessary to solve the immediate problem. $80,000. Think about that. Duck hunters and conservation organizations stepped up and raised $80,000 because these places matter so much to us. I also want to thank the Department of Natural Resources. The DNR worked with us to create a way for these funds to be used specifically for staffing necessary to restore those draws, and once the funding was there, they worked to execute the plan. I also want to personally thank State Representative Ken Borton and State Representative David Martin. Both of these guys were willing to help get people in the room, work through the issue, put politics aside, and focus on finding a solution that was great for Michigan hunters. And we cannot wait until next summer to find ourselves in the exact same situation and start scrambling all over again. We need a permanent solution. We need a funding model for these managed waterfowl areas that understands inflation, rising operating costs, staffing, maintenance, infrastructure, and what it is actually going to take to protect these places for decades to come. Because these areas are all about so much more than just shooting ducks. They are places where fathers and mothers take their kids hunting. These are places where people shoot their first duck. They're places where generations of Michigan hunters have built traditions. They provide incredible habitat for wildlife, access for the public, and opportunities that simply do not exist everywhere else. I grew up loving places like these, and I want the kid who is just getting into duck hunting today to have the same opportunity I did 20 or 30 years from now. So now we need your help again. We have the momentum. We proved that hunters care. We proved that these organizations care. We proved it with our time, our voices, our emails, and quite literally $80,000 of our hard-earned money. The hunting community stepped up. Now we need to make sure that this year's solution becomes the beginning of a long-term plan. We are asking you to go to the Greenway Conservation Club and use our advocacy system. Send an email to your state representative, send one to Ken Borton and Dave Martin, let the Michigan DNR and the Natural Resources Commission know where you stand, and tell them you want them to continue working with the Greenway Conservation Club, hunters, conservation organizations, and elected officials to develop a long-term funding solution that protects Michigan's managed waterfowl areas and wetland wonders for generations to come. And I want something very clear to you. You do not have to be a member of the Greenway Conservation Club to do this. Our advocacy tools are 100% free, and it's fast. It only takes about a minute to send all these emails. We built this system because we want every hunter, angler, conservationist, and outdoorsman in Michigan to have an easy way to make their voice heard. If you believe in what we're doing and you want to support the Greenway Conservation Club beyond that point, we'd absolutely love to have you as a member. We have both advocate and champion memberships, and we worked hard to make sure the benefits, gear, and discounts and everything included in those memberships provide real value back to the people who support us. But membership is not required to take action. What matters right now is that we keep the pressure on, because we took the high road, hunters stepped up, these organizations stepped up, and we put our money into fixing the immediate problem. Let's work together with the DNR and the NRC, Representative Borton, Representative Martin, and everyone else involved to make sure we don't have to do this again next year. We saved the 2026 season. Congratulations. Now, let's protect these places for the next generation. Go to Greenway Conservation Club, send the emails, make your voice heard, and let's finish the job. And before I go, I want to add one more thing. We are incredibly grateful to the organizations that stepped up and helped provide the $80,000 to get us through this year. Some of these groups reached into their own funds and put a substantial amount of money on the table because they were not willing to let these opportunities disappear for you. And we want to give back. So the Greenway Outdoors has created 2 special edition Wetland Wonders shirts celebrating what we've accomplished this year. They're available right now in the shop on the Greenway Outdoors website, and we'll put a link below in this video. A portion of the proceeds from these shirts will be used to support the Harsens Island Waterfowl Hunters Association, as well as the Shiawassee Flat Citizens and Hunters Association, 2 local organizations that stepped up in a huge way when these areas really needed them. These groups put their own resources on the line to help protect hunting opportunities for everybody else. We want to help them put some of that money back into their organizations so they can continue doing the conservation work they do every single year. And the shirts themselves are pretty cool. They're a celebration of what happened here. They're a reminder that when hunters get organized and we work together, and when we're willing to put some skin in the game, we can make a real difference. So if you want one, grab a Wetland Wonders shirt, help us support the groups that stepped up, and wear it proudly, because this was a win we're celebrating. Now let's make sure it's a win that lasts. Go to the greenwayconservationclub.com or click the link below to have your voice heard and let everyone know we want a lasting plan to support the managed waterfowl areas for generations to come.